April 9th, day 3. It is now 10 a.m. Okay, after a few hours of going through Glendale's messy file keeping, I think I might be getting somewhere. I just found a file that seems to be a little bit out of place from all the other files talking about GoatMan attacks and the devastation that he causes. This file is labeled Fletcher. Nothing else, just the name Fletcher. It starts out with your standard information that one would expect to see on whomever the file would be about. You know, the usual birth records, photos, anything else that can be tied directly to the person reported on. I'm just not sure what this has to do with the GoatMan legend, but I can only assume it must have some significance if Glendale filed it here with the rest of the GoatMan files. Oh, wait a minute. Here's something that I've seen before. Loyal a la mort. Those are the words that were written on the wall in Glendale's official apartment, which is where I found the key that brought me to the very storage container that I'm in now. And now, here they are again, but this time written on the bottom of a photograph. A photograph of an old house. Very interesting, but what does it mean? There is, however, a newspaper article about an experiment that went wrong at the Agricultural Research Center in Bellsville. It tells about an unnamed doctor who went missing after his lab was destroyed. The article speculates that the doctor was working on some sort of gene technology and is blaming the destruction on a creature that the doctor was responsible for creating during these experiments. This has got to be a joke, right? I mean, if this were true, wouldn't it have gotten more exposure than this? And I think everyone would know about it. This is big news. I can't imagine this being the only report of the incident. Could this be the link between the doctor and the GoatMan? It does seem to loosely tie the GoatMan legend and Dr. Fletcher together. The only problem with this article is the newspaper it actually came from. The Washington D.C. paper. It's not the best resources for when it comes to reporting matters of actual fact. They've printed many articles, though, about urban legends and things that are so weird that one has to think that they're just making up most of the stuff they run. The article was written and published in the 70s, over 40 years after the incident was supposed to have happened. How strange for Agent Glendale to take this article serious enough to include it in his files. The funny thing, though, is that stapled to the article is a very old newspaper clipping of a marriage announcement. This Fletcher, Dr. Fletcher, married a young girl by the name of Jennifer Zugg back in the 1930s. There's a picture of a couple, and I have to wonder, why would this beautiful woman marry such a creepy-looking man as Fletcher? Oh, God, he's creepy-looking. Anyway, it looks like Glendale highlighted some information in the announcement. This information must be important for Glendale to have highlighted it, so let's see here. The first portion is, Dr. Stephen Fletcher, age 22, son of Joseph Walter Fletcher and Catherine Lotsford Fletcher, and Jennifer Michael Zugg, age 17, daughter of Jason Wayne Zugg and Camille Wright Zugg, joined hands in holy matrimony on July 7th, 1930. It goes further in saying, the happily married couple, Dr. Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Fletcher, now reside at the Fletcher Farms Estates in Riverdale, Maryland, but it doesn't give any specific address. That would make sense considering Riverdale was probably considered to be a rural area back then, and I can imagine their addresses weren't really listed. One thing I must take note of is the fact that Stephen was only 22. He seems to be very young for being a doctor. He must have been a very intelligent man ahead of his time, and very mature for his age to be a doctor. The announcement coincides somewhat with the birth announcement contained in the Fletcher file, but only through the names of the parents. There's no name of the child listed on the birth record, but the names of the parents listed match the ones listed in the marriage announcement as Stephen's parents, which I assume is why Glendale was able to make the connection. The last highlighted portion of Glendale is, Stephen Fletcher was accompanied by longtime friend William Michael Lotsford as his best man, first cousin of the new bride, also caretaker of the Fletcher estate. So let me get this straight. Dr. Stephen Fletcher married Jennifer Zugg, the cousin of the caretaker of his parents' estate, and made him his best man too. Looks like everyone is connected through this William Lotsford person. interesting, but I'm not sure it has anything to do with the GoatMan. I mean, the article about the experiment at the ARC, I can understand that, but the marriage announcement, what is the connection? Oh well, this is all making my head hurt, or is it just this place? If it weren't for my watch, I would have no idea what time of day it is. It feels like I've been in here for days. This container keeps me so separated from the outside, and the lack of windows makes it hard for me to comprehend what is going on out there. A few minutes ago, I could hear some sort of commotion going on just outside. I could not tell if it was just another client tending to their storage unit, the security guard making his rounds, or if the agency was searching for me. At this point, I can only speculate. If I'm going to stay here any longer, I'm going to have to leave. I've got to get more supplies, and I should probably find a better place to hide my car so the agency doesn't see it, if they haven't already. Not to mention, I need some fresh air. This place reeks. But wait a minute. What is this? This can't be.